is not always a journey that you can see all the steps to your expected end. It takes walking by faith and not by sight to get there. Listen in to Walk by Faith podcast with your host, Lady Tiffany Nicole, where you will learn from everyday people like you and me how they used prayer, hard work, integrity, tenacity, and hope to attain a level of success in business.
Hey, I am your girl, your homie, your sister from around the way, Lady Tiffany Nicole, and you tuned into Walk by Faith podcast. With me, your host, Lady Tiffany Nicole. Walk by Faith podcast is a podcast dedicated to the inspiration of business, where I speak with entrepreneurs, everyday regular people like you and me that have taken a passion and talent and turned it into a successful business. The the interest in the title is based off of the Bible verse, we walk by faith and not by sight. And so being in business, there's ups and downs and turnarounds that you never see coming. But as long as you keep your faith and your foundation, you will be able to make it through. Walk by Faith is heard every Monday on New Black Wall Street Market Radio, 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time and 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And we record this live in studio at the historic New Black Wall Street Market, where we are giving back and educating African Americans on ownership and running a business. I am excited today to speak with Mr. Tony Vaughn. Now, Mr. Tony Vaughn, you may know him as an actor with Tyler Perry Studios on various opportunities, but more so the Colonel Meet the Browns. But did you know that Mr. Tony Vaughn is also an entrepreneur and successful business owner? That's right. We're going to get into that conversation. I'm going to let him share with you what that business is. Welcome to Walk by Faith, Mr. Tony. How you doing?
Fantastic. Thank you so very much for having me.
Man, thank you so very much for accepting the invitation to share your story. Now, I had an opportunity to look at your Instagram and follow you as well. And you're not very active, but you gave us a little something to be able to see who you are and what you do and how God has really blessed you in this life here. So it says here, when it goes into your bio, it says you're an Atlanta native. You're the Colonel on Tyler Perry's Meet the Browns, the series. You're also senior on an own network television series called Ambitions. But most importantly, you are a man of God. In your own words, tell us who Tony Vaughn is.
Well, first of all, thank you so very much. First of all, I'm a man that really and truly believe in walking by faith, that I am a child of God, and I display that everywhere I go. You know, so many times people can look at you and they can only look at your profession and not look at the person.
Yes.
I let them know, because, like, well, I can't believe I'm talking to you and all this stuff. I said, well, first of all, what you see on the screen is a character.
Well.
And what you have right now is me, Tony Vaughn.
Yeah.
And so, and I let everybody know that whatever steps I take in life is only because my Heavenly Father, He has done this for me. But I'm a man, I'm a father, I'm a grandfather, I'm a great-grandfather, I'm a husband, I'm a son, I'm an uncle, and I have a pretty large family. I am a native Atlanta, like you said, earlier. But I'm also somebody that believes that no matter who you meet in life, you meet that person for a reason. And it's up to us to recognize what that reason is. And we can either heal, go forward, or we can stop, So we learn something from everybody we see and come in contact with. And that's basically who I am. I'm a person that's real. And when I say something, I'm not making it up. It's the real deal. So you won't hear anything uh, fiction that's coming out of my mouth. So that's pretty much who I am.
Yes, it's the real deal, Holyfield, as we say out in these ATL streets. So, you are of age. We don't have to share your age. It's up to you to share it. But how long have you been acting? And really, how did you get into acting? When did you know you had the gift of entertainment and acting the way that you do?
First of all, I've been in this crazy business for 42 years.
Wow.
I started out in theater, and the way I got into this crazy business is a friend of mine was an educator, and her husband was in politics, and he as well as she as well as he did a lot of public speaking. And so what she was doing was she was attending an actor's workshop to build up her confidence and speaking in front of an audience. And one night we were talking, and she told me she was attending an actor's workshop. I said, actor's workshop? I said, that sounds really interesting. Can I tag along with you? So I tagged along with her. I went, I saw, I liked what I saw, and I joined this actor's workshop. And they were in the process of auditioning students for a role in a play and a biblical play. And so when I joined Actors Workshop, apparently the instructor saw something in me that I didn't know I had. And he cast me in one of the supporting leads. I've never done anything like this in my entire life because I've always been very shy. Always. You know, I would throw out humor to hide my shyness. So people would see how shy I really am. But long story short, he cast me in this biblical play called Moses and the Prophet. And he cast me in the role of the Pharaoh, king of Egypt.
Oh, no, not the bad guy.
Yeah. And I was shaking like a leaf on a tree. And when I finally got the words out, everything went away as far as nervousness and everything. But, excuse me. But then there was a producer and director at Doris that saw me and liked me and said, hey, look, why don't you audition for a play that I did? I said, okay, I did that. And he cast me in a leading role. And I did that play, and somebody was in the audience, and they saw it and asked me to audition for their play. And it just went on and on and on and on. And I'm like, what is going on? And that's
wow.
So thus far, I mean, I've worked in every theater in the metropolitan Atlanta area as well as other places. And done television, theater, of course, commercials, industrial films, motion pictures, just the whole gamut. It's just the whole gamut. I've just been doing a wonderful work for the Lord. And he's been really blessed me and stuff in the way. I just love every moment of it. It's a crazy busy, but it can be the most rewarding.
I love it. I love it. You know, you're talking about the journey. You know, you talked with a friend. She said she was going somewhere. You was like, let me ride out with you, see what's up. And you had no intentions. You just going to check it out. And lo and behold, it was a part of God's divine strategy for your life and purpose. And you've been rocking and rolling ever since. Now, you saying 40 years of theater, and most of us, I know me, ain't been in no theater. We know you from good old television and this amazing man who also has an awesome testimony in his life. And if it's the Lord's will, I hope to get a chance to connect with him and have him on the podcast as well. But as you live your life ups and downs, he had an opportunity to connect with none other than Tyler Perry. And so Tyler Perry lives here in Atlanta, or I believe he still do, but I know the Tyler Perry Studios is here. So tell us how God, aligned you to meet with that awesome young man and to get on television for us all to know you now.
The first Tyler Perry's very first play he did was called I Know I Can Change. And I went to see it, and I had never heard of Tyler Perry, not really. And a friend of mine was saying that there was a play that she wanted to go see, so we went and checked it out. And I was like, that's really different from the kind of work I do on plays, because I've always been a dramatic actor. Never, as a matter of fact, Meet the Browns is the first comedy I've ever done.
Wow, you've been in well.
Yeah, but said I had an audition for this new TV show, sitcom. And I said, okay. And I went to audition and did not know that the whole cast had already been formed.
Wow.
Even the Colonel's role had been formed. But apparently some things just didn't work out with the Colonel. Because they shot like 10 episodes, but they never released the camera. But so, statewide search for the Colonel. And I went to the audition. I see all my friends there. I was like, oh, these unbelievable actors. But God had my name on it. God had my name on that role. And I had no clue. And one buddy of mine who's an unbelievable actor, he told me, when they called me, as a matter of fact, when they called and told me I took the role, because it was actually supposed to be the Colonel.
Wow.
But the casting director called me and told me I wanted to call you before I called your agent. How would you like to be a regular on Meet the Browns?
Regular.
I said, girl, you gonna stop. You gonna stop playing. I said, of course. He said, well, I'm glad you accepted because I want to give you the news before I called your agent. And from that right there, we were 5 seasons of Meet the Browns. 40 episodes. So it's just an unbelievable. It's unbelievable working with the cast, because when you're working with someone for X amount of months and years and everything like that, you become a fan. Really, because you're with each other every day. Yeah. So, but yeah, working with Mr. Gary and God bless him through him, it's just been a wonderful thing because it took my experience in the writing from being a local celebrity to a national celebrity. And I didn't know what to expect because I was used to people recognizing me from here.
Right.
Here in Atlanta. But to go anywhere in the country as well as out of the country and be recognized, it took a minute before I could actually, feel that, eat that up, or understand that. It's like, man, it's the point I can go nowhere without being recognized. Trust me now. I'm not complaining.
Right.
I'm explaining.
That's good.
You know what I'm saying? So that's basically it. But no, it's been an awesome ride. Awesome ride. I mean, we wrapped up with Browns back in 2010. And to this day, we're still playing. We come out every day with syndication. So we've been in syndication for 13 years right now.
Absolutely. And there's so many episodes that I haven't watched. So whenever I get a chance to catch it and sit down and watch it, I be cracking up. I'm like, I ain't never seen it. Because oftentimes it came on, back then, or it wasn't as prevalent when we were, watching TV then. So now, good stuff like Meet the Browns. I really put Meet the Browns right there with Martin. And, TV shows like that don't come on anymore, but I don't care when it's on TV. We're going to sit down, we're going to watch it from beginning to end. And even if it's an episode that we've watched, we are going to laugh. So thank you guys so much for coming together. First, thank God. Thank Dr. Tyler Perry and for how he just orchestrated that thing. I'm often reminded of the word of God that says, your gift makes room for you.
Yes.
And brings you before great men. And oftentimes we don't know what that gift or talent is he gave us. We're just being sincere, genuine, and moving on along life. And next thing you know, boom, you're on television. You're in a series. You have a series with your name on it and somebody else was already cast to be for the play. That's what that Bible verse means. So now you're acting, you're on Meet the Browns, and God is opening doors for other opportunities, ambitions. And I'm so mad. I watched Ambitions and it only had 1 season. And I'm mad because I'm like, can I get 2 or 3? But they did say it wasn't coming back. But listen, that thing was good. Listen, y'all got any streaming platforms and Ambitions is on there, it's binge watchable. I'm telling you. But when they get to the end, you're going to be hot as fish grease because you're going to want more. And when I just watched it last year, but it's been around for years. And when I got on this, I'm like, wait, nobody told me that, girl, you're late. But it's so good. So that's another thing. And other opportunities. Just Google him and go to IMDb and see everything you can to be a blessing and witness this gift on your television screens. So now we fast forward because I did tell y'all at the beginning of this, he is an entrepreneur also. And being an actor, is that considered entrepreneurship?
Of course. it's like having to spare the trunk.
I like it. Listen, it ain't going nowhere. Anytime lights, camera, action, what? Especially with the chick. Absolutely. So yes, being an actor, theatrical actor, writer, director, what have you, those are considered entrepreneurship. But I'm speaking now in terms of pivoting and shifting to the next. And when your main thing, when your bread and butter dwindles and life happens, how you shifted. So the pandemic happened, and y'all really wasn't on TV no more.
Well, think about it, it was just again, acceptation. You know, it slowed down, the pandemic slowed down a lot of things that were taking place. Of course, it had to because so many people were falling to the left, falling to the right. And, you know, so we had to be very, very, very conscious on whatever was taking place. But, I mean, you know, productions, some are still going on, but again, it's at a slow pace because very, very cautious. I'll give you an example. When we were shooting Women of the Movement, Women of the Movement was episodic. It was a six-show episodic, and it was a story mainly Mobley Till, Mobley, who was the mother of Emmett Till. As you know, Emmett Till was the young man who was murdered in 1956 in Mississippi, allegedly whistling at white.
Mm-hmm.
But when we shot, and I played Emmett Till's grandfather, Emmett Till.
Mm-hmm.
But when we were shooting Women of the Movement, you know, we had tested every day. You know, whenever we were shooting, we tested. You know, of course, we had to wear masks, and when we wore masks, you know, after, you know, before we had to shoot everything, everybody had a mask on. And of course, we started shooting, you know, masks were removed. But it slowed things down, but nevertheless, it didn't slow it to a stop. You know, but it was so different. It was so very, very different. But, you know, you have to take on as a certain precaution whenever something comes back.
I wasn't planning on that, but I can't miss the opportunity. How did it feel taping that type of production? That's a sensitive subject for us, African Americans, and I wasn't around. I'm not sure if you know you were still living a young or what have you when that all happened. Walk us through just a little bit how they felt to be a part of that production and to reenact such a critical, painful time and story of our culture.
You know, it was so surreal, first of all, because we shot on location. It happened in Mississippi, which is where we shot in Mississippi. As a matter of fact, even some of the places where these things took place, we shot there. Even like with the courtroom scenes, the actual courthouse, we shot at the courthouse. Wow. And it was a little eerie at times and everything. Of course, again, being in Mississippi, you know, knowing the history of Mississippi and how people were at that time. And I didn't know what to expect when I got there. You know, I just knew all the things that we had to do. And going through that, you know, it just felt, I could actually feel the spirit. And so many people say the same thing. Glenn Turner, you know,
yes.
From, you know,
everywhere.
Glenn played his great uncle.
Right. I mean, it was you know, the different world and old school. Back in the day, Cooley High, yeah, absolutely.
But Glenn played his great uncle. His great uncle, I think, his great uncle. But he was one of the members telling me they went over to the cemetery. And it was such a feeling, you know. And I mean, again, everything was just so surreal about being there. We were there for 3.5 months. I was there 3.5 months. There are some that were there a little bit longer, but I was there 3.5 months. But it was educational because I found out some things that I didn't know. I thought I knew everything about what happened to me too, but I really didn't. I found out that there were so many things that I didn't know, like how that with the death, how it was processed in the 9 yards, just the whole thing that's going on around, all the racism, just the nine yards. So, went through all of that. So it was a very feeling. It was a very good feeling, but it was education. And I'm just so glad that we were able, God bless me, to be a part of that place, because this 6 episodes, I was in 5 of them. So I wasn't the very first, but I was in the rest of them. And give you a little bit about my character. My character, Megan Till's, let me just step out the name of John Carter, who was Megan Till's father. And he spoke with his presence. You know, he spoke with his presence. Rather, a man that's, had a lot of talking, but when he showed up, he showed up. And not only could you feel his presence, but you can feel what he's feeling or thinking through his eyes and his expression. And that was my character. And just to look at these people who we were training and look at how getting a feel of how they felt and everything, it was mind-boggling first, but then it was mind-blowing second. You know, it's like, wow, we went through all of this, and maybe, oh, God bless her, you know. But this lady was starting moving from those little things that happened. Her son, it's unbelievable. She's a strong woman.
I believe you guys are able to watch Women of the Movement. I thought that the way that it was named, that there was going to be more stories of women that was a part of the movement behind the scenes. But that was all that they did. But you know what? It was such an impact, such powerful. I ended up watching it and I had some emotions or feelings, but I was like, no, first of all, thank God. You know, a lot has changed, so we have some ways to go. So much has changed. So glory to God for that, how we are as a people, as a nation. But it was very soul stirring. So thank you so much for being a part of history and willing to sacrifice so that we could get enough of history. Now that we got to lighten it up.
Well, let me put this on here. You say you were hoping that you expected, other people that were that is going to happen.
Gotcha.
As a matter of fact, I believe the next one will be about Rosa Parks.
Oh, it's going to be good.
So I know that's one of the reasons why they titled it Women.
Right.
And the wonderful part about the whole experience, is the fact that you did 6 episodes, and all 6 episodes were directed by Black women.
That's beautiful.
Black women. So it was, and they did a marvelous job. They were unbelievable. 2 of them I had worked with Queen Sugar.
Yeah.
2 of them Queen Sugar. Yeah, it's great.
I love it. I love it. So we're going to brighten it up a little bit, lighten it up a little bit, because that was a little. But we're going to get into the pivot of switching and adjusting, not necessarily laying down your main thing, but doing something different. And another gift has birthed forth. As the Bible says, God does a new thing now, shall it spring forth. So now you're doing something new, different, but another role you're playing now. As an entrepreneur, tell us about this business and what do you do?
Okay, business is something I started close to 9 years. And because so many people recognize, aside from being roles that I had in different projects, so many people recognize me on the television Browns as the Colonel. And so I said, well, why can I capitalize off of that name?
Yeah.
Now, at the end of each day, what I would do is I would pop popcorn. I was doing the microwave at that time. And so all of a sudden, came with the idea to gourmet popcorn business. What? So therefore, when I need a name that's grabbed, that people can remember, they can grab hold to a name that they won't forget. Popcorn kernels. Meet the Browns, Colonel. So the name of the business is the Colonel Goes Pop, gourmet popcorn. And we have like close to 20 flavors of everything. We have so many popcorn places around.
Yeah.
And everybody, pretty much use the same method of cooking. However, I I chose to go in a different direction.
Okay.
And the direction I decided to go in was, instead of air pop popcorn, you know, like you might get in the theaters, movie theaters and stuff like that, I decided to do open kettle popcorn. And for those out there who are familiar with the open kettle or who are not familiar with the open kettle, back in the day, and I'm pretty sure it's in New York or some other places, they still do open kettle, where they would have the pork rinds they cook in this big old open kettle out there. You know, that's an open kettle. Well, I cook my corn in the open kettle. And my corn cooked in an open kettle, you know, the texture is their popcorn packaging. I have bags that are resealable. So, you know, you can open it up and something right back. And so it not only gives it, you know, a prolonged flavor, but it's also, no longer does it keep it fresh, but it gives it a lengthy shelf life. So that's one of the things, and everything is popping.
It's on and popping. Listen, you can find out more about the Colonel Ghost Pop by going to www.thecolonelghostpop.com. And I've had the honor of having some of that popcorn, the green apple flavor popcorn. Man, I was like, bruh, is this not a candy apple or what? It was so good. And then of course, you know, you gotta have the mix with the caramel and the cheese and the cheddar cheese mix. You just gotta have it. I also had you have a jalapeno cheese.
I have a cheddar jalapeno. I have
Yes.
cheddar sriracha. I have a cheddar sriracha with caramel. And like you mentioned, I have a green apple caramel. And I have one that's very, very popular. All of them are good. All of them are popular. But one sticks out because it's like whenever I go to a place or I'm set up out here like Wall Street, you know, people just grab it like crazy. And that's something of a deal. And it's
Pregnant people popcorn.
yeah. Yeah, but it's the bomb. It's really good. But, you know, all my corn is really good. But you know, there are some that stand out, and it depends on your taste buds, what you fancy most. But I can honestly say that it's really good.
So you're acting. You are an actor. You've been acting for years, and then you pivot and shift from your love of popcorn to make it a business. And you've never done this before. So someone is listening and might be thinking, I want to turn something into a business. Walk us through, how did you learn to package? How did you know what to do? How did you know where to buy kettle? How?
Well, you know, the internet's something else. And you know, when you're trying to do something and you're unfamiliar with the process or how to go about it, and everything, you know, that's the one thing about it. Just get on there and just type in whatever, you know. And I would look at videos on YouTube and see the different processes, just see the different methods of cooking and everything. I like that, you know. And you know, because I've always, you know, been an entrepreneur. You know, I think I started my first business in like '78, something like that.
Wow.
77, 78.
That's when I was born.
Oh, really?
You look good.
Thank you. Next year I'll be 70 years old. How about
Oh
that?
my gosh, you never know.
It's in the mic, man. I said so like, hey, man, you gotta say that loud,
No, that's a blessing.
but yeah, I started my first business back in, I think it was like 77, 78, something like that. And it was a carpet cleaning business.
Wow.
A carpet cleaning business. I did that for a long time. Yeah. But bouncing around in these businesses and everything, just really trying to find exactly where I need to be and how I need to go about doing it. And I found that in building this sort of popular business, and however you got so many choices, just like anything else, you know, that chicken places here, you got dollar so and so, you got a lot of really popular places around. But everybody, you know, it's just because you like, let's say, what is it, over red market, not to say that that's the market, but you might like this popular, or you just might mine. I like the Colonel Pop better than that, so forth and so on. You know, so we don't have a choice. So, you know, in being in this some of my corn and everything. And so, and in doing that, that just allowed me to say, okay, this is the lane I'm going to stay in. So I'm, therefore I stay in it. And it's been really, really good for me and to me.
Yes, I remember. So long story short, or a little background behind me, Mr. Tony, I auditioned for this opportunity, this open door here at New Black Wall Street Market for their radio program. And one of the things that I had to do was go around to the merchants here and promote their business, talk to them, and create a commercial. And just so happened, he had a pop-up shop here that day with the Colonel Goes Pop, and I did a little commercial for you on my Facebook Live, and everybody was like, "Is that Mr. He from Mr. Browns and everything?" And I was like myself, but when I saw him, I was like, "He looks familiar." But I wasn't talking to him. I was like, "I know him." And he was like, "Yeah," and he get that all the time. But it was such an amazing. I remember sowing the seed. Getting ready to do something, not just for my personal radio show, which I gotta have you on that as well, but also for this opportunity, because at the time I didn't know what God was doing at the time. And like you said, your last time here was November, and it's just now manifesting and coming into fruition. And that just goes to patience and believe in God. But I thank you for saying yes to the opportunity.
Yes.
And now we just Walk by Faith podcast where we get a chance to share our story and minister in a different way and share our stories and to invite you to understand that entrepreneurship is fun and rewarding, but it is a journey. So Walk by Faith is an acronym: P, prayer; H, hard work; I, integrity; T, tenacity; H, hope. Of those 5 foundational tenets for this platform, which would you say is the most important to you for an entrepreneur?
Faith, walking by faith.
Mhm.
So many people will entertain subject, or they might entertain, let's say somebody said, well, you know what? I think you should go into the shirt business. I think that would be good for you. Have the logo on it, whatever the case may be. You can do that, and that just might be your calling. But at the same time, you might not have the patience for that, and therefore you're like, I'm not going to go in that direction. I'm just doing this alone. However, you have to have that faith. You have to have that belief that you can do it, because if you can do it, nobody can stop you but you.
That's good.
If you feel you can do it, the only one that can stop you is you. Will you have your ups and downs? Yes. Will there be good times and bad times? Yes. But at the same time, when you recognize the bad times, think about the good times on this way. Because so many times when we're going through a storm, the only thing we're thinking about is what's happening in the storm. We're thinking about the hard wind. We're thinking about the rain. We're thinking about the thunder. We're thinking about the lightning, and we're afraid. So therefore, we lose sight on what's getting ready to happen. Because when you're going through a storm, God is not trying to tear you down. He's only trying to prepare you for what He's getting ready to do for you. But you got to go through to get to. And so whenever there is something that is there, and you feel it's there in your heart, you know in your Lord that it is there, this is what you want to do. You can't stop, you got to keep on going. I could have stopped a long time ago doing the popcorn business, but I've seen how people were responding to it. And how people responded to it gave me the idea to create other flavors as well as continue on.
That's good.
So, so it's all about faith. How high is your belief factor? What are you willing to do in order to sustain? What are you willing to do to keep going? Because if you want it, you will want it. And then you will want it in your walk, you will want it in your talk, you will want it in your body language, you will want it all over. So you have to make sure if it's something that you really want, only you can stop you.
That's good. Man, that's amazing. You don't know it, but that really means to me. Thank you for yielding. Thank you for being here. Thank you for joining us here on Walk by Faith podcast.
But I'd like to say one more thing.
Yeah, go ahead.
This, of course, is I'm kind of shifting gears in a sense. I also have a nonprofit organization.
Oh.
I have a nonprofit organization, a men's organization, and that organization is, the acronym is UMEB, and that stands for United Men Empowering Brotherhood.
Wow.
And United Men Empowering Brotherhood is an organization dedicated to the advancement of men through education, community service, and spiritual guidance.
Wow.
We have men in our organization age range mid-20s to early 80s of all different backgrounds. We have retirees from all branches of the service. We have business owners. We have actors, directors, producers. We have so much talent in there, and we're all going in a direction to help somebody. You know, we have food drives, clothing drives, toy drives. We're in partnership with the Cap County Police Department, the Cap County Sheriff Department, an organization called America, Choices, Persevere, several organizations, and we're out there in the community trying to help because our foundation is God. Our foundation is God, and that's why God is bringing all these people into existence, whereas we're building on this and we're helping so many people. So I just had to put that in there because it's so much needed. We got too many grown boys walking around here in the shell of the man. And so if they don't, but to some of them, it's not their fault. It's because they didn't have a positive role model in their life. And that's why we know, see, I wasn't on this platform by accident. I was put on this platform for a reason. And I draw people in, and I know it's because they recognize me. A lot of them do, but then when they come to a meeting, they're like, this is God's thing. Because I want to help in the community. I want to do these things to help somebody. And I just had to throw out here because I'm very passionate about it. I am the president of the organization that we have some powerful brothers, powerful that's in the organization.
Thank you for saying that. And again, out of obedience, I know that's what it is. Because I'm a woman that has a son that I love, that has a father that I love, that has an uncle that I love, that has a man that I love. And there are some things missing, but as women, we're only limited. As women, we're praying. But there's only so much that prayer can really do without them having a safe place to go, heal, become, and be nurtured. Since the beginning of time, the enemy has been against the man.
Absolutely.
And I'm more so, of course, because of my culture for my Black brothers and Black men. But all men, the enemy is against me, against their emotions, how they respond, what they believe a man is. They can't be all they need to be because they're broken. But they're trying to be strong for a family and raise their children, but they are broken and need mending. And it's hard for a man to get that from someone else other than a man. And they can be trusted. So thank you for taking the call for UMEB. And I'll be praying for you, but thank you, because as a woman who loves every Black man in her life, I know that's needed. And there's only so much we can say. Our churches are missing our men. Our communities are missing our men. Our families, our homes are missing our men. And the truth of it, they want to be there. They're trying to be there, but there's a language barrier that only another man can create.
For those who, in talking about UMEB, for those who might be interested in UMEB, just go to UMEB.org, and you can pull up our website. And when you pull up that website, it'll give you pictures of all the things and some of the things that we have been doing, the people we have been helping, the people we have mentored, just a combination thing. Because, like I said earlier, it is so much needed in our community. In our community,
Yes.
You got so many men who are filling these prisons up with their presence because they did not have what they needed as a positive role model.
Wow.
So when we can actually save one, if we can just save one, we've feel like that because you never know when you say that one, what he's going to regurgitate to someone else. And then that person to someone else. And it goes on and on and on, you know?
Yes,
Yeah.
I love it. Thank you. Walk Our Faith podcast, we are talking with entrepreneurs and how your faith walk in entrepreneurship and the inspiration of business. But hey, this platform is yielded to the Most High. And I thank you so much. Y'all, Tony Vaughn, ladies and gentlemen. Wow, so much has been said or done. And I'm just, wow. I'm excited, and thank you again. Walking by faith is not easy. It is a journey. But Martin Luther King says, faith is taking the first step, even when you don't see the whole staircase. Listen, I am your girl, your homie, your sister from around the way, Lady Tiffany Nicole. And I would like to invite you to always listen in on all of the platforms, Spotify, iHeart, and Apple, and everywhere else podcasts are listened to, but also here on New Black Wall Street Market Radio every Monday, 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on www.newblackwallstreetmarketradio.com. Listen, until next time, continue to walk by faith.
Thanks for listening to Walk by Faith podcast. I'm your host, Lady Tiffany Nicole. Please visit www.ladytiffanynicole.com to connect and be informed on new episodes and more. Until our next episode, continue to walk by faith.
On the phone, you can press stop, go live, or end recording for me. Thank y'all. Go ahead, get a photo of us all three in front of the thing, and I can introduce you to the next guest.